I've actually spoken to Tonka. Actually, we spoke on Discord the other week, so he knows who I am. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I agree with some of what you actually say with regarding the white race dying out, but my problem is that the alt-right or what people perceive as the alt-right will never get enough power to actually bring in their ethno-state.
Okay, well let me ask you this: during the American Revolution, what percentage of Americans fought against the British?
Okay, so I'm not American for a start, so I'm not quite sure on history.
Okay, well, it's 3%. There's a movement in this country called the 3%ers, because that's what it was. Yes. It only took 3% of Americans to kick the shit out of the British. You know, the right-wing governments don't take power because of popular revolution. We're not commies. We have jobs and stuff. It's not easy to go out there in the street. But, you know, when we do take power, it's typically, you know, either through the silent majority or through the military, or, you know, a foreign country wants to come in and help us out. And so, yeah, I'm not out there saying, oh, all the country's going to become alt-right and we're going to take over. But I do think that once even a relatively small portion, but a significant amount of people kind of get woke on these issues, that I really don't think that it's going to be all that unreasonable for a lot of significant change to happen.
Exactly. When the Nazis got a vote one time, they only got 4% of the vote. So, you know, that's telling you a lot. Okay,
but you go to American. Okay, so I get what you're saying, but the problem that I have is that if we split the right up to it, for example, you have the conservatives, you have the Trump supporters, and then you have the alt-right, for lack of a better word. Now, at the end of the day, if you're talking about getting ideas through, so unless you're going to go talking about doing a coup or taking over or whatever it may be through a coup or some sort, then I don't think you're going to get enough mainland supporters, even with your 3%, to actually be able to go through and actually bring in these new rules. Look, at the end of the day, you know, it's a great dream, and yes, it's something that we can aim for, quotes. But at the end of the day, I think if you have people who have a choice between someone that is alt-right / neo-Nazi / whatever.
No, don't call me a neo-Nazi. It's not. I'm not. Yeah, a Nazi.
But you know what I mean. Whatever mainstream was going to label you, me, and everybody else that doesn't support progressives. But at the end of the day, if you go through and if you have that idea or your idea of an ethno-state, and you have, for example, Trump's idea of saving America with, you know, exporting immigrants and stuff like that, a lot of people are going to go through and they're going to take Trump's view or Trump's plan over anything that you guys actually offer.
How far away do you think Trump's plan is from what we're advocating? Don't you think that perhaps Trump's take over the right wing of American politics and using the two-party system to get in office, don't you think a lot of that might come from people with nativist views, perhaps ethnocentrist views, perhaps even white advocates who say, you know, because that's the thing, is Trump ran with what was referred to as the Saylor strategy. Steve Saylor's been advocating this since the 90s, that a Republican president who just says, you know, he goes to the interests of white people, because in this country, white people vote over 60% Republican, you know, and they just push out the white turnout by discussing white issues. They can win elections, and that's what Trump proved. So, no, I don't know. And I feel like every time people run into like a fucking, you know, a furry or a, you know, degenerate, fun party kind of stuff, that pushes people more and more towards our side. Every day people run into shit. And it's like, maybe they're like, you know, I don't necessarily like those alt-right dudes. I don't necessarily like the, you know, the white nationalist guys. But fuck if what we got going on isn't working right now. And eventually you're going to hit the point where we're the best alternative.
But that's what I say. I think there's, at the moment, and especially at the moment, there's a lot of options between you and where the progressives are.
What are the fucking options? Hillary Clinton? Bernie Sanders? Are those the serious options we're discussing right now? Fucking
No, fuck that. No, fuck those guys. One's a communist and one's so fucking crooked she can't lay straight in bed. What I'm talking about is, at the end of the day, like people like me, for example, the libertarians or Trump supporters or people that are he might be along the way towards heading to you guys. But when you're talking, all right, so let me ask you, with an ethno-state, right, how many blacks are in America at the moment now? How many roughly?
Well, it's about, I think it's about 13% of the population, so 13%, so 330 million, do the math.
About 30 million, give or take the...
Yeah, roughly. About 36 something.
Yeah, so, okay, so my question is how are you planning on exporting those 36 million?
Exploiting the blacks? I never said that I wanted to exploit the blacks.
Exporting, sorry. Exporting, getting rid of them. removing them. You want an ethno-state, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, you can have reservations and stuff, but I think that a lot of them we would just encourage to move back. So there was actually, this has already happened before. Back in the day, you ever hear of a country called Liberia?
Yeah.
Okay. So there's a country in Africa called Liberia, which was founded as a colony for slaves that wanted to leave America and go back to Africa. And you even see this today in a lot of the black nationalist, BLM kind of stuff. They want Wakanda, and I say fucking let them have it, and encourage it. You don't gotta be rounding people with the points of guns. You give them fucking plane tickets and a few $1,000. You let them take their property with them. You let them do what they want to do. And you encourage them starting. Now, the ones that want to stay, the blacks, they've been here as long as this country's been around. So I don't know that it's totally fair to just get rid of all of them. But you can set up a reservation system. You can put back in the rules in place that were around pre-65 that discouraged the integration of societies, that discouraged race mixing, that honestly protected the black community because they don't keep losing all their talented people. I use talented in air quotes here, but they don't lose the talented 10th to the white society. So they actually have community leaders. So it doesn't just get to be this fucking constant cesspool of degeneracy and violence. So I think there's a lot of solutions there, and frankly, I think you run into a lot of blacks that would agree with me more than anything else, because blacks are the most fucking woke people on the black question, because they got to deal with niggas all day long.
And I'll agree that this is when, for example, Black Panther came out. My standard response to everybody was that this movie is great because it will encourage people to head back to Africa and get in touch with their roots. And like I say, I'm all for saving the white race, don't get me wrong. But at the end of the day, I don't think a lot of people are going to take up the offer. I don't think a lot of people are going to do it. And it's going to be sooner or later, you're going to have to end up.
Well, I think a lot of people would rather sit around and gif off to fucking fur fag stuff. But you know what? We don't necessarily have to let those people rule society. We don't have to let people who don't have a whole lot to contribute dictate how things go. Look at South Africa, right? Up until 1994, it was run by a minority white population, and it was run very well. I mean, it had fucking very high standards of living, equivalent to basically any modern European country, a very strong economy, all this high technology, and you let the blacks take over because they were the majority population, and look at where it went. Now you're fucking looking at the white people are all about to get killed there. They're getting killed in the street every goddamn day. Farm murders are happening every night. So that's the society that I'm looking at. So yeah, maybe democracy isn't the best solution. Maybe letting majority rule happen isn't the best thing. But if you want to have the society run right, you got to have it run by whites. That's basically how it goes. Even non-whites want to live in a white society. That's why we keep seeing all those people come here. It's not like Mexicans who come here from Mexico. They don't come here just because, it just happens to be a nice place. They want to live in a white-run society because they see it's better than a Mexican-run society, because they have Mexico and they see it's a fucking shithole.
Yeah.
Why am I obliged to let them come here? Why am I obliged to have a multicultural society? No one goes to Nigeria and says, Nigeria needs to be multi-ethnic. No one goes to China and says China needs to be multi-ethnic. The only expectation is that white countries are to be multi-ethnic, and that every brown person in the world has some, mystical 0th Amendment right to proximity to white people, and that's bullshit. And then they come here and they outcompete us, not because of any sort of merit, but because of affirmative action. Because there are policies in place that give them an artificial foot up. You can have like a 900 SAT score and get into basically an Ivy League school if you're black in this country. That's fucking bullshit.
Yeah, I totally agree. And that's what I say. A lot of.
So what do you got to argue with me on that?
What I was going to say was that while I understand what you're saying, and I get the fact I want to save the white race too, I don't think the ethno-state is ever going to happen, and that was why what I messaged.
So your entire point is you don't think something will happen, therefore it's a bad idea.
No. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying we shouldn't try. I'm not saying we shouldn't go through and tighten up immigration, and there's a lot of things that we can do to allow us to go through and to, quote, save the white race. But when you start talking about an ethno-state, the basic concept that people have is that you want to start exporting the black community. Now, like packing them up and sending them back to Africa. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think they're going to leave. I don't think they're going to.
And America was an ethno-state up until 65 with the 10% black population. We just didn't let in all the whole third world. Like, as I said, there's an accommodation that can be found for blacks that don't want to leave this country, perhaps similar to the reservation system here, where you just discourage integration between society. It's a big fucking country, man. Now, I'm not going to say give up parts of it, but, you take away their right to necessarily declare war and stuff, and you give them a place and you make sure that it doesn't get too bad with the rapes and the murders. And yeah, you give them some fucking land that people don't want and you let them live there, and that's cool, and they'll be taken care of. But we can go back to having a white society where 50% of the murders aren't committed by 13% of the population, where white people in Atlanta and Baltimore don't have to walk down the streets at night being fucking terrified that they'll never be seen again.
But how many people do you think are going to accept that idea of putting the blacks in a? You want to call it a reservation? We'll call it a reservation. But how many people do you think are going to support that idea?
A lot of them. You just got to sell it right.
I think you might be over. Look, at the end of the day, there's a big divide between online community and real world. Okay, and it's what I've called the quote great divide. But at the end of the day, like for example, if you go to someone off the street, I'm not sure about how woke America is, but I'm in Australia here. If you go through and you talk to someone off the streets of Australia and you ask them about South Africa or immigration or the dangers of mass migration or Sweden or any of these places that have mass migration, they have no idea what's going on. Now, yeah, sure, that's an argument for educating people. I get that. But at the end of the day, if you turn around and start talking to people before you've educated them about an ethno-state, people are just going to get their back up and go, hey, well, hang on, we don't want this.
Well, and Australia was an ethno-state until y'all decided to give it up. I mean, yeah, you had Aboriginals. What was you going to do with the Aboriginals?
Well, we never decided to give it up, okay? Our parliament decided to give it up for us.
Same thing with us.
Yeah. Like, at the end of the day, it's the same with our gun system, too. You know, if we had a vote for gun control, it probably would have gone a very different way.
See, here's my issue with you and people who argue like you, is you basically concede every point that we make, that it's not a bad idea and that there is an issue, there's an absolute racial issue and it needs to be addressed. But what I hear you say is, but it would be mean to fix it. It would just be so
No.
It would be so terrible.
Hey,
fuck you, motherfucker. No. Dude, this kid's 17. Get this motherfucker off the stream. He isn't even old enough to be on YouTube. Does your daddy know you're
Joachim,
here?
I just want a question. Are you going to cut yourself in half above or below the waist to fit the 56% of you that's white in the ethno-state? Like
I don't know.
Below the waist.
Are you still asking Ray Savage to peg you in the ass with a vodka bottle?
No, I haven't gotten drunk lately, so no.
Motherfucker, how do I gotta take anything you say seriously? You're not only a fucking nihilist, but you're literally a child, and a child who's a very deviant, fucked up little weirdo. I don't know who's weirder. The kid who wants to get pegged or the fur fag. If this is the best argument you got against the alt-right, I don't know what to say, because I feel like this is fucking over already.
Excuse me, but I'm not a fur fag.
Then why are you a fucking furry?
Let me finish, because we have hate speech laws here. And half the videos that I actually make actually agree with what you have to say, and I can be thrown in jail for 20 years or up to 20 years per video that I make.
Well, don't be a Brit wrong. That's how you solve that problem.
Shut the fuck up, Charlie, or I'll smack you like a little bitch. Now, at the end of the day, what I was going to say...
a minor, really? Damn.
What I was going to say to the other guy was that at the end of the day, that's why I use an avatar, and I just picked one that was on the face rig probe. That's all.
It looks like you're trying to yiff really hard.
At the end of the day, it's also a bit of tongue-in-cheek at the furries too, because it's sort of putting shit on them. But yeah, so I'm not a furry. So
look at me, I'm just pretending to be retarded.
Yeah, but at the end of the day,
I was just about to say that actually.
Well, you didn't, because you got fucking nothing to contribute to this conversation, Charlie. Go home.
Well, I'm pissing you off, so I'm doing my job.
You piss me off by existing. You know, I get hit up by everybody and their mother on Twitter. You know the one person I haven't accepted the DM from? You. Yeah.
Me?
Yeah, because you're underage and I don't want to talk to underage kids online because that's how fucking Charles... What's his name? No, I want to say Charles Hanson, but that's not right.
Charles Hanson.
Chris Hansen.
You're from To Catch a Predator. That's how you fucking end up taking a seat right there. I'm not...
I don't
want to fuck you in front of all these people,
actually
kid.
In the room with me. This is a sting, so...
Okay, well, I'm not going to fuck you in front of all these people, kid. Go take your wine coolers and your fucking bunch of condoms and crawl on home or back to your. What was the school you go to again? Tell everybody the great school that you're going to because you're the smartest kid ever, right?
I'm not gonna say that on this stream. It's too big.
Oh, you already doxed yourself. You just don't want to dox yourself in front of all these fine people.
Yeah, I like the Kumite chat. But actually, to talk about the alt-right, I tend to browse poll a lot, and so I interact with a lot of these people. And there's honestly like a level of disconnect from reality. Like, identifying with, white people isn't something you can just do. Like, white people have very little cohesive identity.
What the fuck do you know about white identity in your 17 years of life?
I'm sorry, Charlie.
Well, my brother's actually a white... No, my brother's actually a white nationalist, but...
Well, he should have bullied you more.
Probably did.
Yeah. But like, it's kind of fantasy. You guys live in a fantasy world. It's something that you can't actually produce, and you're LARPing as if you have some kind of group identity and that you're a part of some group, but really you're just like you're about the same as me. You're just some fuckwad on the internet.
Okay, so the computer that you're using on this internet, the broadband lines which connect us, the internet itself, the headphones I can see in your picture, the North Face jacket I'm assuming you're wearing. Who made those things, Charlie? Who came up with the idea? Who designed those? Who was the person?
It doesn't matter who made it.
Oh, okay, so it doesn't matter.
Invented peanut butter. Can you not eat a fucking peanut butter sandwich?
Whites don't have a culture. That's what you're saying. Landing on the moon, that's not a white achievement, right? Anybody could have landed on the moon. You know, the Nigerian space program.
Let's continue down this path, right? The NASA space program was mainly composed of Nazi scientists, right?
Fuck yes, it was.
So could I make an argument? Yeah, could I make an argument that only Germans have the claim to landing on the moon? I mean, if you really want to go down the path of splitting this up,
splitting it up. Germans are white. Germans are white people. You keep saying white.
But Irish people aren't German. So should Irish Americans not take credit?
Irish people are white. What's your problem? You got a problem with the Irish?
I'm saying if you want to go down the path of
Charlie? You hate the potato niggers?
A little, but no. But
you're sounding a lot like your brother here, bro.
No, I'm really kind of ambivalent to the whole concept of race.
You're a fucking nihilist, Charlie. You came on here because you thought you could fucking pull out your little pill and try to deny it because you want people to look at you and be like, "Oh, look at this Gen Z. He's real cool." But you're nothing,
not
Charlie.
Cool at all.
You're fucking nothing. You should go to school. You should learn. You should go breed some white women. You should, go have some fun. Go enjoy your life a little bit before getting all this internet shit gets you so autistic that no one ever wants to talk.
I'm not here to be cool. I'm here to tell you you're a faggot and you're stupid.
Okay, well, you did that. Congratulations. Does it make you feel better?
Yeah, actually, I do.
Okay, go away now.
I feel a lot better. I'm going to go have a smoke, and I'm going to...
Who had to buy those cigarettes for you?
My Filipino friend.
Jesus Christ. This is the best that they got. They're not sending us their best. This is what they got to argue against the ethnicity. They got the guy who is like, I agree with everything, but God, wouldn't it be mean if you had to do something to black people?
No, he's just a fucking cuck because he's worried about like getting arrested by the Britbong police who are gonna pull him over for having a butter knife.
For a start, I don't carry a butter knife on me. Secondly, dude, come to fucking Europe. Or Australia, or any of those countries.
Thanks. I like living in a country.
So now you don't want to fucking say anything.
I don't want to go to Britbong land.
He lives in white Afghanistan. He likes it too much.
No,
he won't admit that whites are a culture. But how many? You got like what 6% non-whites in your state?
It's actually really low.
Yeah, no shit. I know where you live. It's very low, and you fucking love it, but you deny that white people have a culture. So
No, I think white people have a culture.
You just denied that white people have a culture. People fucking heard it 10 seconds ago, dude.
Okay, no. What I'm saying is there is white culture. I just am so ambivalent to the concept because I don't like people. So why do I group myself? Like, why would I want to group myself with other people?
Hey guys, which one of you is gonna? I just came in. I just woke up and I got here as fast as I could.
Hey man,
hey, what's that number, AP? I need it real bad. I'm gonna fucking call it live. I swear to God.
Oh, I'll get it to you in just a second, but I gotta find out, man. I was driving. I didn't get the whole story. Which one of you is gonna get pegged in the ass by Ray Savage? Because I want to just watch that quietly.
That was me when I was super drunk, and yeah, it was funny. I actually enjoyed that stream.
I thought you were about to say actually enjoyed that happen. Okay, so it didn't.
No, he asked you to do it with a vodka bottle too. Is the best part.
Yeah, I believe the exact words I used was, "You can peg me with a vodka bottle, Ray." It was. I was blacked out at that point. No, and
no, I'm sorry.
She has too much self-respect, so.
She's fucking married, dude.
I know.
You're hitting on a married woman.
Hey, man, alcohol does crazy shit.
I think it could be said about any of us that we've gotten drunk and hit on a married woman at some point. I can forgive that. Well, keep your butthole tight, man. Be careful about what you offer out there when you're drunk.
I was in juvie, so it's already kind of loose, man.
Oh no. And I see we have here we have an animated Joachim. It's good to see you, man. It's good to see you.
The Britbong for here, so.
I'll get that suicide hotline for you in a moment. I got something to say about that because somebody stole my suicide hotline gimmick, money badgers.
Wait, they're doing it too now?
The money badgers think they're gonna save everyone from committing suicide because of internet blood sports. That's my job, and I will not lose it to some fucking money badgers.
Hey, AP, I actually have a question.
Yeah.
People on Cal, they started a thread about you, and they were calling Fright Power the new Kekistani meme. So I wanted you to respond to that.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Like,
everybody.
I don't
when
agree
you
with
talk
it.
about how big and scary Cow is, I want everyone to look here at 17-year-old Charlie and realize this is the big terrifying bad guy on the internet. This is Cow right here.
Yeah, V is terrified of me, basically.
You want my real answer to whenever somebody says they don't like what kind of cartoons we make?
No, I enjoy Gulf City. I
I know you
want
do,
your
but I mean, you
opinion.
want my real answer to that?
Yeah.
Don't care. I don't give a fuck. I don't care what they have to say. Like,
That's about as well as you can do with Cow.
I mean,
And
yeah.
that's what V can't do.
Well, but I heard a stream last night where V was a vampire and he was draining people's blood and all kinds of shit, and black people are scared of him. So I mean, he's doing some good work out there, scaring the blacks.
Yeah, his gypsy magic is very potent. Yeah, but
So
Joachim,
can we get back on topic?
Yeah,
Besides-
no, I was just about to say that. Joachim, you kind of have it right. I do live in a bit of a ethnocentric area of the U.S.
You live
I
in
am
fucking Idaho. Just for the clarification, this is not doxing because you said it on public stream.
Yeah,
before.
I did.
So you live in fucking Idaho and you want to go around saying that white people don't have culture, or that white people. If every place had the demographics of Idaho, I'd be fucking happy, man. I'm worried about places that get demographics of South Africa. You know why? Because my Twitter feed is filled with people who's got their fucking mom had their toes cut off with a bolt clipper by random ass black people just for the sake that she was white in a country that whites built and blacks live in. Yeah, I got a problem with that because that's what's going to happen to this country, Charlie. And you may not want to live in a race war, but you're gonna. Your generation is going to be the ones that see it. My generation, hopefully, we'll be all dead by then. Because fuck, man,
if I have any luck, I'll be off the fucking planet. I'm getting out, man.
I will buy you a ticket to Mars because I do not want to live on the same planet with you either, buddy.
So is this
Okay,
another? Did I walk into another ethno-state conversation?
I mean, I wanted
Yeah.
whatever, but I got
Joachim
two jobbers.
LARPing,
Like,
No disrespect. I just want to know what the topic is, so I can sit down and
Joachim is
listen to it.
LARPing like he doesn't have 44% black in him, and just that kind of.
12 inches is not 44%. Wait, what?
Is Joachim half black?
No.
Yes.
He's in a Maramut. He might as well be.
Nothing
You
would
live
make me
in-
happier than if he was and he was out here just King Carlin it up, dude.
I was saying this the other night. Like, I mean, I'm hanging. Like, everyone's like, "Oh, you're all right." You're, like, motherfucker, I get yelled at because I talked to Tonka and fucking Stone Mexican guy and stuff. Oh my God, you're platforming non-whites. It's so terrible. It's like,
Who? Stone Mexican guy?
yeah, Stone Mexican guy, Viva la Raza, dude.
Viva la raza!
Great guy, great fucking guy. But you know what? He's got a sense of ethnic identity, and he says, "Yeah, fuck yeah, send me back to Mexico. That shit would be great." Because he gets it, right? He gets that people got to have a place where they're from, where they can go to, where they don't got to worry about being genocided in.
He knows how to talk to his white friends. Dude, he's just like, yeah, send me back to Mexico.
Dude, I found out last night. Actually, he's in the fucking gang too. You know that?
Oh damn.
No.
Yeah, he's a fucking Sereno. Great guy.
Another reason I'm not a big fan of the alt-right is I'm actually kind of a transhumanist.
You're a tranny?
And
Oh.
transhumanist.
Oh my
I don't know what that is.
Where they cut off the penis and then they like put the skin on the inside to make a fake
No.
vagina?
You're
It's,
against
it's-
things because you're 17, look like you fucking look, and you have more pimples on your chin than fucking hair.
That picture's actually 2 years old. So,
That's
But,
okay. You still look about 15 in the photo. You still look 17.
but anyway, transhumanism is like the philosophy of using technology to change what human is. So, genetic
Are you
modification.
waiting for the
cybernetic-
singularity like Sheldon and shit? Like,
I'm actually
Turn yourself
I'm
into a
actually a
robot?
computer science major, so I'm working on accelerating towards the singularity. But
okay.
yeah, no, but
Go on.
like I think honestly, you could build a society where you genetically engineer everybody to have the best traits of every single race. So if
white
whites
people.
are but
Fucking white people.
everybody
White
to have a
people
black
is
dick,
black
everybody be super
Stronger white
smart,
people. Gotcha.
good at math, just. But like I don't know. I think we're getting to a point where technology is going to change how these kind of interactions play out between races because
We were just talking about how an Uber self-driving car ran over some chick in Arizona. So good luck with your singularity, because that's really going to work out.
Well, he's trying to he's trying to get into the industry and solve that problem, and he's got a 20-year plan like Sargon. Let's give him.
no, I actually want to do it in 10 years.
What,
so
ad
I'm-
targeting software?
No, no.
10 years.
Yeah, 10
So,
years.
so what's your ideal future, Charlie? What would be your
one in which energy technology and food, like farming technology, have advanced to the point where scarcity is less pressing, and then people won't bitch about stupid shit all over the world.
Okay, hold up, Charlie. Here's the problem with that. You make more food. You know what happens? They make more black people. They just keep on breeding. You give them more food, they're just going to keep breeding, and then we'll hit the same fucking Malthusian bottleneck 20 years down the road, only instead of how many we have now, we'll have fucking 10 billion more of them. And they'll say, well, it's still racist because we'd be running out of food and shit. So that's what you want to do. Your future is just infinite Negroes.
Well, I don't know if that's accurate or not. I mean, you're some guy on the internet with a Silver Surfer, an avatar.
I'm not even the Silver Surfer. Look at the fucking... I'm Ricardo Spencero.
That's the Silver Surfer, dude. I don't give a fuck.
What?
I think he might be seeing a different. If you just changed it, he might be seeing a different avatar than the ones we're seeing. It might be in his temp file. So just
yeah?
It's
I'm
really
seeing
funny.
that.
Like I'm in a group chat with like Ray Savage and stuff like that, and I see the notifications, and apparently I'm like pissing her off for something. It's kind of funny.
You piss everyone you interact with off.
I know, it's great. I love it.
no one
I
ever
do
calls
it for
me when
free.
it's like Jim and Andy hanging out. You know,
We always hit you up when there's a 17-year-old who's trying to piss off his parents who shows up.
I don't hate this guy. I just you're,
What's the weather like?
you're a
I
little
don't
misguided,
hate him.
dude.
I just know that nothing he's saying now will hold true in 2 years.
I've previewed the 4th season of Rick and Morty, so I do know what I'm talking about.
Oh my
So-
fucking god! Hey, Pay, have you got that suicide number for?
Yes, I do
about
have
that.
I do have the
you.
suicide hotline number. I want you to listen to me and not listen to the honey badgers when it comes down to this, because I'm the man here saving people from suicide over here on the Kumite. You can call 1-800-273-8255. That's 1-800-273-8255. If you're calling middle-aged, short-haired women who can't make a good point on the internet to complain about wanting to kill yourself because you lost a match of on the day of the Kumite you weren't even on because you don't want to be a man, then you call 1-800-273-8255. And you can be a man once again.
Oh, someone's calling it.
Yes, it's
If,
busy because they've had to listen to this. So many people
Okay,
have died.
if blood sports is bad because it makes people want to kill themselves, does that mean the honey badgers are bad because they make me want to kill myself?
I don't know. Yes, to both. Yes. Honey badgers is bad.
Yeah, I mean, press 1 in the chat if the honey badgers make you want to blow your head off. I'm sure more people hate them than hate blood sports.
I'm
Press 2 in the chat.
I'm divorced and I find them annoying. And they're supposedly taken up for guys like me in court. That should tell you everything you need to know about them.
The MRA shit is so fucking gay. Like, it seems like a convoluted way of not getting laid. And I know everything about that subject, so... I'm an
Look,
expert.
I know that your uncle taught you a lot, but believe me, you got to learn some tricks in college there, buddy.
Now, touch on the doll where your uncle touched you.
Tonka, if you think if I did the weather, everyone would just forget about it and we could start a whole new conversation?
Please.
You could try.
Guys, it's 79 degrees here in Gulf City. High today will be 84. We have a low of 53 tonight with a 0% chance of rain. Winds out of the northwest at 13 miles per hour, 16% humidity. Also, tomorrow you can look forward to another sunny day with a 0% chance of rain. Low of 52, high of only 74 as the cool front moves in. As we move closer to the week for Friday when it actually does hit us, and it will drop down to 52.